Did you know that one of the greatest pianists of all time could barely see, yet this didn't stop him from revolutionizing jazz? Art Tatum is the kind of artist who defies all limits, a true master who made the piano his voice to the world. His hands danced across the keys in such a unique way that it seemed impossible to keep up. How does someone transform challenges into pure genius? Today, we'll dive into the story of a man who didn't just play music but created unforgettable moments. Are you ready to be amazed? Art Tatum was born on October 13, 1909, in Toledo, Ohio, USA. His full name was Arthur Tatum Jr., but he became known worldwide simply as Art Tatum. From a young age, he displayed remarkable talent, but his childhood was far from ordinary. Tatum was born with severe vision problems that left him blind in one eye and with very limited sight in the other. This, however, never stopped him from following his musical instincts. His connection to music began at home, where his mother, a church musician, played regularly. She encouraged Art to approach the piano, but what truly shaped his future was his extraordinary hearing. He had an exceptional ability to listen to a piece of music and replicate it on the piano perfectly, often adding his own variations. A curious story from his early years is that, at just 3 years old, Art began to play with the piano by ear without having had any formal lessons. Later, he astonished family and friends by playing classical pieces simply by listening to recordings. He also attended a school for visually impaired students, where he was exposed to other musical styles and honed his technique. Perhaps the most pivotal moment of his youth was discovering recordings by Fats Waller, one of the great jazz pianists of the time. Though he admired Waller, Tatum quickly developed his own style, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible on the piano. These early years not only revealed his passion for music, but also prepared him to become one of jazz's most legendary figures. The event that truly launched Art Tatum's career came in 1933 when he participated in a music competition in Cleveland, organized by a local jazz club. During the event, Tatum amazed everyone present, including the renowned pianist Fats Waller, with his creative interpretations and flawless technique. This performance was so impactful that it attracted the attention of key figures in the jazz world, opening the doors to his professional career. Although Tatum developed much of his skill on his own, he was deeply influenced by other musicians. Artists like Fats Waller, Earl Hines, and James P. Johnson were early inspirations, but Tatum quickly surpassed his contemporaries, crafting a style uniquely his own. Additionally, singer Adelaide Hall played a crucial role in his early career by hiring him as her accompanist. This collaboration not only gave Tatum greater visibility, but also showcased to audiences just how extraordinary he was. Tatum faced resistance in the jazz world due to his exceptional talent. Some musicians even criticized his style, claiming he played too many notes, but this never stopped him from innovating. He broke conventions by blending elements of classical music with jazz, transforming the piano into an almost orchestral instrument. His advanced technique and complex use of harmony forced many musicians to re-evaluate what was possible on the piano. One of his early recordings that shocked audiences was his rendition of Tiger Rag, recorded in 1933. The speed, precision, and creativity of the performance left critics and fellow musicians stunned. Many believed the sound came from two pianists playing together, but it was just Tatum, reinventing the concept of a solo performance. This recording not only showcased his genius, but also set a new standard in jazz. In his later years, Art Tatum faced significant challenges, particularly related to his health. Despite continuing to dazzle audiences worldwide with his virtuosic performances, Tatum suffered from chronic kidney problems aggravated by diabetes. His physical condition deteriorated, but he remained active, playing whenever he could, as though music were his lifeline. A fascinating detail about his final days is that, even in poor health, Tatum never compromised the quality of his music. He performed with the same intensity and technique that had made him legendary. However, his illness advanced relentlessly, and he passed away on November 5, 1956, in Los Angeles, at the age of 47. His death was attributed to complications from uremia, a condition linked to kidney failure. News of his death was met with deep sadness in the music community and among his fans. Many of his peers considered him an unparalleled genius, someone whose skill and creativity were far beyond ordinary. Major jazz figures paid tribute, and critics highlighted how Tatum redefined the piano, elevating the instrument to new heights. Tatum's death left a void in the jazz world, but it also solidified his legacy as one of the greatest pianists of all time. His innovative style continued to inspire generations of musicians, not only in jazz but across various musical genres. Art Tatum wasn't just a brilliant musician. He transformed the way people thought about music, proving that even in the face of challenges, it's possible to create something extraordinary. Art Tatum left a profound mark on the music of his era, both emotionally and culturally. His ability to craft arrangements that were both complex and exhilarating made his music an almost mystical experience for listeners. In the social context of the 1930s and 1940s, amid a backdrop of racial segregation, his genius transcended barriers, uniting audiences from different backgrounds. To many, he was a living example of how art can overcome limitations and prejudice. His techniques remain a subject of study for musicians worldwide. His use of advanced harmonies, fluid improvisation, and seemingly superhuman coordination between his hands continues to serve as a benchmark for pianists. Tatum is often cited as one of the first musicians to integrate classical elements into jazz, creating a style that defied labels but inspired everyone. An example of his influence on other great artists is the admiration that Oscar Peterson, another legendary pianist, had for Tatum. Peterson admitted that after hearing Art Tatum for the first time, he considered giving up the piano, believing it was impossible to reach such a level of mastery. However, instead of quitting, he used Tatum as an inspiration to push his own limits, eventually becoming one of jazz's most renowned figures. Today, Tatum's music reminds us how art can defy logic and connect us emotionally in unexpected ways. His ability to make every performance unique reflects the essence of creativity, finding new ways to express what we feel, even within traditional structures. In a world where we seek authenticity and innovation, Tatum's work remains a lesson that art has no limits. If Art Tatum, despite all the barriers he faced, could reinvent how we view the piano, what does this tell us about the power of art to transform our own limitations into something extraordinary? Art Tatum wasn't just a musician. He was a storyteller, someone who turned emotions into notes and defied everything that seemed impossible. His music transcends generations because it's not just about technique, but a deep desire to express what words cannot describe. Today, as we listen to his recordings, we realize how his unique vision of jazz continues to resonate with new artists, shaping styles and inspiring creations. He teaches us that true art isn't bound by time or circumstances, but by our ability to imagine what hasn't yet been done. If you also feel inspired by stories like Art Tatum's and want to keep discovering how music transforms lives, subscribe to the channel. Here, we celebrate artists who show us the true power of creativity. Leave a like, share this video, and let us know, which Tatum song will you listen to today? Together, let's keep alive the art that connects and transforms us.